Hello, and welcome to the Certified Ethical Hacker Study Guide. In this video, we will discuss Chapters 1 and 2, What You Can Do Legally. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Now, let's blaze into the first topic, after this short break. Let's talk about the laws of the land. As with lockpicking tools, having hacking tools on your computer or mobile device might actually be illegal. You could contact local law enforcement agencies or, research online about the laws for your state or country before installing hacking tools on your devices. You can see how complex this issue gets as you travel from state to state or country to country. For example, New York City might have one law for installing hacking tools, and a quick drive over the George Washington Bridge brings you to a different law in New Jersey. Table A1 in Appendix A compares Vermont's computer crime statutes to New York's to demonstrate the variety of verbiage the legal community uses. Laws are written to protect society, but often the written words are open to interpretation, which is why courts and judges are necessary. In Hawaii, for example, the state must prove that the person charged with committing a crime on a computer had the intent to commit a crime. So just scanning a network isn't a crime in Hawaii. Also, the state has the even more difficult task of having to prove that the computer used in committing a crime had been used by only one person, the one alleged to have committed the crime. If the person charged with the crime claims that more than one person had access to the computer used to gather evidence of wrongdoing, the state can't use that computer as evidence. So, what do these laws have to do with a network security professional using penetration testing tools? Laws for having hacking tools that allow you to view a company's network infrastructure aren't as clearly defined as laws for possession of lockpicking tools, because laws just haven't been able to keep up with the speed of technological advances. In some states, running a program that gives an attacker an overview and a detailed description of a company's network infrastructure isn't seen as a threat. As another example of how laws can vary, is taking photos of a bank's exterior and interior legal. Security personnel at a bank in Hawaii say you would be asked to stop taking photos and leave the premises. An FBI spokesperson put it in simple terms. You can be asked to stop taking photos if you're on private property. Taking photos across the street from the bank with a zoom lens is legal, but if you use the photos to commit a crime in the future, an attorney would tell you the charges against you might be more serious. Because of the fear of terrorism, in certain parts of the United States and many parts of Europe, taking photos of bridges, train stations, and other public areas is illegal. The point of mentioning all these laws and regulations is to make sure you're aware of the dangers of being a security tester or a student learning hacking techniques. Table 1.1 lists a small fraction of the cases prosecuted in the past few years. In these cases, many people have been sentenced to prison for hacking. Most attacks involved more than scanning a business, but the cases show that the government is serious about punishment for cybercrimes. Some of the most infamous cases are hacks carried out by students, such as the recent attack on Miami-Dade schools. Many hackers use software to crack passwords of online accounts. This act, performed by many security professionals when given permission to do so by a network's owner, is a federal offense when done without permission and can add substantial prison time to a hacker's sentence. Now let's groove into the first topic, after this short break. Is port scanning legal? Port scanning is a common activity in penetration testing. Testers use port scanning to detect computing devices on a network and itemize the services they offer. For example, if a scan detects that a computer at the IP address 192.168.1.100 has port 443 open for connections, the machine is probably a web server and could later be targeted for web server penetration tests. Some states consider port scanning as non-invasive or non-destructive in nature and deem it legal. This isn't always the case, however, so you must be prudent before you start using penetration testing tools. Some companies have filed criminal charges against hackers for scanning their systems, but judges ruled that no damage was done to the networks, so the charges were dismissed. It's just a matter of time before a business will claim that its network is also private property, and it should have the right to say that scanning is not allowed. Because the federal government currently doesn't see these infringements as a violation of the US Constitution, each state is allowed to address these issues separately. However, a company could bring up similar charges against you if you decide to practice using the tools you learn in this course. Even if you're found innocent in your state, the legal costs could be damaging to your business or personal finances. Therefore, you must research your state laws before using what you learn, even if you're using the tools for the benefit of others, not criminal activity. These laws for each state can be found on the website. Now let's swing on into the first topic. After this short break, you should also be aware of applicable federal laws when conducting your first security test. Federal computer crime laws are becoming more specific about cybercrimes and intellectual property issues. In fact, the government has a branch of computer crime called computer hacking and intellectual property, CHIP. The No Electronic Theft extends the reach of criminal copyright law to specifically include electronic means as one method for committing the crime. The Act also expands the scope of the criminal conduct covered under this crime, allowing for prosecutions without showing that the distributor of the copyrighted material profited from the activity. The Economic Espionage Act, EA. The EEA offers trade secret protection to both businesses and the government. The significance of information to society and the problems that are attached to protecting this information make the EEA an important step in how the law can provide protection from computer crime. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, or CFAA, Title 18, Crimes and Criminal Procedure, Part 1, Crimes, Chapter 47, Fraud and False Statements, Sec. 1030, Fraud and Related Activity in Connection with Computers. This law makes it a federal crime to access classified information or financial information without authorization. Electronic Communication Privacy Act, Title 18, Crimes and Criminal Procedure, Part 1, Crimes, Chapter 119, Wire and Electronic Communications, Interception and Interception of Oral Communications, SECI, 2510, Definitions and Sec. 2511, Interception and Disclosure of Wire, Oral, or Electronic Communications prohibited. These laws make it illegal to intercept any communication, regardless of how it was transmitted. U.S. Patriot Act, Sec. 217, Interception of Computer Trespasser Communications. This act largely seeks to amend previous privacy and surveillance laws and fund government surveillance programs. It also specifies ways for the government to monitor individuals and allows victims of cybercrimes to monitor the activity of trespassers on their systems. If you find this video useful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. To see more videos like this, please click in the rectangle in the middle of your screen. To see other videos from this channel, please click the circle on the bottom right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.